Alright guys, wetin dey reign for social media now na Igbo king in Ghana. You understand? Now looking at this issue is not something that should be causing issue if only the person involved can understand what the people are saying. You understand? The Ghanaian people are saying that we don't want you to be a king in our land, which normally you can't be a king in another person's land. You understand? If you want to be a king, you have to be a king in your land, and you cannot just be selected as a king. But what I try to understand about this is that it's like the man involved, you understand, is actually a leader of a group of people, which are the Igbo people living in Ghana, which is normal. In every community, you must have a leader. In every garden, every union, you must have a leader. The Nigerians have leaders in all their communities outside Nigeria. The same thing as the Ghanaians, the Togolese, the Senegalese, whatever. Even in Nigeria, there are so many Ghana community, but they don't call their leaders king. They can only say this is the leader of the Ghana community here in Nigeria. And that is what you should be calling yourself, because now the people are rising up against the name, not the position. You understand? Now let's be educated a little bit. You understand? Now for you to call yourself a king, because some people don't understand. The problem is not you being a leader. The problem is you calling yourself a king. You understand? So if you go just retrieve that kingship, but not the leadership, because you are still the leader of the Igbo people. According to you in one of your videos, you said they elected you or they selected you, which means you were selected or elected by your people, that even somebody else came up, but they still choose you. You understand? Which I want you to know that kings are not selected or elected for. You understand? Now let's try to educate ourselves a little bit. For some of us that don't understand what is actually going on, this man is calling himself the king of the Igbo people, which he is the leader of the Igbo people, but he just wanted to use the title king so that it will show that is actually the paramount leader. How am I going to say it? Because normally Igbo people, our Igbo people from Nigeria, normally they like title. You understand? If you study them, the average Igbo man like title, oh chief, king, all those kind of things. They just love it. You understand? It's part of their, their physique when they make themselves feel good. You understand? So maybe that is what this man is trying to do, but the people say they don't like her. Now, let's try to educate ourselves. Now, who actually is a king? A king is a main monarch, traditionally the supreme ruler of a kingdom. The supreme ruler of a kingdom. That's what I'm going to. You understand? That is why you can be a king. You must have a kingdom. You understand? And there's a story going on that this man is trying to have his own kingdom in another man's land, which we also have to address. You understand? You understand? He is often the head of a royal family. Oga, are you from a royal family? Number one question. And may hold his position through hereditary rights. Through hereditary rights. You see, that means your position as a king should not be voted for or should not be out of selection, but must be from your inheritance. You must inherit kingship. You understand? You have to inherit kingship either from your grandfather or your father. Okay, your grandfather na king. Your papa na king. How come you are a king? Where did you get that from? You understand? So that is what this is saying. For you to become a king, so that means for you to become a king, you must inherit kingship. And if you go to Ghana, most things you hear is chief. They have maybe just one king. So if you are calling yourself a king in Ghana, that means you are even above those chiefs. You understand? That is how they think, and which actually makes sense for them to think so. You understand? Because coming to their kingdom or their community to be a king, or the only thing, just say you are a leader, I beg. Just say the leader of the Igbo people. This one will cause, it will bring enough seniority. It will bring enough calmness. Like everywhere will just stay in peace, because right now, peace not in social media again. You understand? And what is people actually fighting for, or what they're actually saying, to me, it makes sense. You understand? Because calling yourself a king is a very big thing. It's not just, even if you are a king in your community, in your country, when you're coming from, when you get to another man's country, you drop your kingship. There's a king that's above you in that country, because that is not your kingdom. You can only be a king in your own kingdom. That is if you're actually a king. But in this case, you don't have any lineage of kingship. You understand? You just be normal man. They just get money. You understand? And I know many people might not really support what you are doing. I know some of the Igbo people too will not support what you are doing. So I understand? So just please, for peace to reign, just let them say you be Igbo leader. Remove the king for your name. You understand? You're not a king. You are just a leader. A king It's not a position that is being selected for or elected for. I beg. Make peace from rape. Not be every time they go to hear on our name, this one they do this, Nigeria do this, Igbo do this. Stop, make it just calm down. You know that if you come out today and explain yourself that you're not a king, they are just a leader, you know that many people will be so happy and they will respect you. But if you're trying to hold on to this kingship, you will not be respected. No people, these people don't go respect you. They go just insult you, they insult you. And I heard that you don't go buy some acres of land, say you won't build kingdom, bring Igbo community to Ghana. Oh, guys, it's not necessary. I'm going to look for that video. Once I see the video, I'll just post it because some people might maybe some people have not seen the video. You understand? That's the main reason why these people are upset, because of that statement. They said it wants to build a community of Igbo people